This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he's a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000. You've made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. I look forward to showing you just how different I am.
Because everything that he said, denouncing me and then confirming me, and then talking about, that all happened a day before the report about the 9-year-old.
He finds his name in the news in what is a civil lawsuit on behalf of this 13-year-old. Now, this is a crazy story. This 13-year-old, I guess, lied to her parents about where she...
Jaguar Wright's predictions are stirring things up once again, and this time, Jay-Z is in the spotlight. The hip-hop icon is reportedly facing a new lawsuit alongside Diddy, sending shockwaves through the industry. Could this be the beginning of the end for Jay-Z's nearly two-decade reign? Jay-Z and Diddy have long been a powerhouse duo in both music and business, with their friendship symbolizing the pinnacle of hip-hop success. However, in the wake of Diddy's recent arrest, Jay-Z's noticeable silence on the matter is raising eyebrows. With these new allegations emerging, that silence speaks volumes.
All right, did you hear about this? Rapper and music mogul Jay-Z is now being accused of a 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs during an MTV VMA after party in the year 2000. The rapper issued a blistering statement in response and directed his comments at attorney Tony Busby, who filed the suit, saying, quote, "You've made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. I look forward to showing you just how different I am." Criminal defense attorney Lexi Rigdon joins me now. Lexi, good morning to you. What a development here. So another thing Jay-Z said in his statement is that this was a civil suit filed against him. And he said these allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one, essentially saying, if I really did these things, treat me the way I should be treated. So how should we be thinking about all of this? What do you think?
Well, that's some denial from him. And, sometimes celebrities have pretty muted denials, like, I'm not going to comment now, or I direct all questions to my lawyers. I actually admire the strength of the denial. I think that at this point, there's no objective indicia of reliability to this complaint. Now, obviously, things are going to play out and we're going to end up learning more. But if you look at it on its face, it's a 24-year-old complaint. Very significantly, he was not named in the lawsuit in the first instance when it was filed. The girl was allegedly 13 at the time it happened. And in the complaint, it says that she had been given something and she was quote unquote woozy. And so I think that this just needs to be looked at in kind of a measured way. Unlike the media is treating some people.
For Jay-Z, this presents a very difficult situation because unlike Sean Combs, Jay-Z doesn't have the opportunity to say that he's being charged criminally and that this civil case should be paused. Instead, this case could go forward and he would have to sit for depositions, argue, defend, show where his whereabouts were, and the light of day could be very damaging to him both in the court of law and the court of public opinion.
Jay-Z has been famously married to Beyonce for 16 years. They have 3 children together. Today, Jay-Z denying all allegations, saying in part, "My only heartbreak is for my family," adding, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case." His attorneys quickly taking his rebuttal to court, filing a motion to deny the accuser's request to remain anonymous or dismiss the lawsuit, calling it a cynical and calculated campaign to force payment of an exorbitant sum of money.
There are a number of reasons as to why a defendant would ask that a plaintiff be named in a civil lawsuit such as this. They may simply say that getting the name and the time and place of when something occurred would better allow them to prepare for a defense. The other, probably less benign reason is oftentimes when someone is accused of a crime like this, the accuser doesn't want to be named, and if they are forced to be named, we have seen certain people decide to drop the lawsuit altogether. So it could be a tactic to try to get the lawsuit dropped.
The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward.
This recent revelation stems from one of at least 7 civil lawsuits against Sean Combs filed in October by attorney Tony Busby, all of which allege Combs dozens of victims for over 2 decades.
What shocked me most was that it was going on openly in front of other people.
Jay-Z is staying on the offensive, going after not only the attorney who filed the lawsuit against him and Diddy, that would be Tony Busby, the attorney, but also the accuser. And he has filed a new motion this morning, which we're going to get to in a moment, but basically he wants to level the playing field with the accuser. But first, we got to start with this response that Jay-Z had to the allegation. Catch you up real quick if you hadn't heard, but a woman who had filed a lawsuit against Diddy back in October, alleging that he had her at a VMA after party in the year 2000 when she was only 13 years old.
Right. Remember, this is when she allegedly was given a drink. She felt woozy, and there was Diddy, and there was a male celebrity who was unnamed at the time, and also a female.
Well, that unnamed celebrity is now named. And she refiled the lawsuit on Sunday. She and her attorney, Tony Busby, refiled it and named Jay-Z as that unnamed celebrity involved in the. Jay-Z's response is extraordinary in that, look, we've seen all these lawsuits against Diddy, dozens of them now at this point, and frequently his response has been to deny it, but to say nothing else. Jay-Z went way more than just denying it. He did do that, but then went directly after the attorney. Part of his statement said, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt from a lawyer named Tony Busby. It made me want to expose you, Tony Busby, for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny." This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity.
Tony Busby is making explosive claims that could shake things up in the entertainment world. He alleges that investigators offered his clients money to sue music moguls Jay-Z and Diddy. One client even recorded a conversation, revealing that payments were made, which is both shocking and illegal. In a twist, Busby is now being sued, with evidence surfacing that investigators bribed clients to take legal action against his firm. Meanwhile, the lawsuit against Jay-Z involves a 13-year-old fan who claims to have been exploited by both Jay-Z and Diddy, casting a dark shadow over their reputations in the industry.
13-year-old, I guess, lied to her parents about where she was at this night, and she wanted to be at the VMAs. So she rolls over to the Radio City Music Hall. This is in New York City, where the VMAs was being hosted, and she's like trying to get into the VMAs, She can't get in. She's going up to limo drivers and trying to shoot her shot, which at 13 years old, what the hell are you doing at the VMAs? I guess it was a different time. She ends up talking to a limo driver, discussing her plan, what she's trying to do. And apparently this driver was like, "Hey, Diddy likes young girls." I'm paraphrasing here. "And you're exactly perfect for the job here." And that's how she ends up getting exactly what she's wanted here. She goes to this after party hosted by P. Diddy, and she's there with Sean Diddy Combs, Sean Carter, who we know as Jay-Z, and Celebrity B, which is...
The lawsuit claims that in 2000, a 13-year-old girl, referred to as Doe, met Diddy and Jay-Z at a party following the MTV VMAs. Allegedly, a driver working for Diddy invited her to the event, where she signed a document she believed to be a non-disclosure agreement. Inside, she claims she was drugged and later assaulted by Diddy, with Jay-Z and others reportedly witnessing the incident. While Jay-Z denies the allegations, opinions are divided. Some argue that he's being unfairly tied to scandals by association, while others point to his connections with figures like Diddy and R. Kelly, questioning his innocence.
We are the Hove cast, right? I do want to tiptoe around this. Not tiptoe, but like, I do want to be objective in this, and I want you guys to share the reasoning for why you don't believe this case in general. And I don't want it to just be because I know Jay-Z. I want to talk about.
It's not about. No,
I don't even like. I don't
that's
like
not
knowing
even
him.
it. That's not it at all. It's just. This is just absolute. Okay, so a 13-year-old girl signed an NDA, went to an after party. She escaped the house, made it across the street down the block to a gas station, called her father. Her father picks her up from this gas station, this was in 2000. It's supposed to be, so 24 years ago this happened. And this is the first time where ever, like, the father didn't go in that house.
I don't really want to go that route because I do think there is a world where that's probably happened somewhere. Like, it's always tough to say with his time. I always think that's a cheap thing because there's been plenty of that are true that do come out 20 years later. It's a rough process for women when these types of things happen, especially when they are children and maybe we're out doing something they shouldn't have done. Like, I shouldn't be at this party, and I'm not going to tell anyone that I got. Keep it to themselves until they're adults and their brain processes it. So that's not why I don't think this is true. I think it's the moves that have been made since October with this case aren't really movements of someone that is guilty. Is really where I'm on the side. I
just none of this is believable. None of it. It's just the most
I agree. I don't
thing.
think
Like, what is this?
Well, you can understand because kind of what Damaris is crying. Like optically, you can understand why the internet and some people would feel emboldened enough to turn against Jay and say, we knew it, he's been this guy, you know, and if you, they're just kind of going with the story, you can see why, like, because
when they say,
I'm going to get into my objective parts in a second.
People online say he's been this guy, what does that mean?
Well, I mean, just optically, for a long-standing friendship with Diddy, they do the brunch thing. There's obviously, all you need is a bunch of photos with someone, and then you're accused of everything that person did.
That's true. Crazy.
He did 2 tours with R. Kelly. They have 2 albums together. Like, there's just like, it's just enough for people to be like, oh yes, this makes sense.
There's no way you're next to all these nasty people and not being nasty.
You're not
but yeah, and I hear what you're saying with that.
She's going by Jane Doe in this case, filed the complaint back in October, but has just now revised it to include Jay-Z, making him the first celebrity to actually be named in a case with Diddy. And let's just say that the internet is not surprised, nor do they have much sympathy. Somebody commented and said, this is the least surprising headline I've read on X in years. Another person said, I was waiting for the Jay-Z stories. I believe it. I mean, guys, like, the comments go on for miles here. Well, we tried to tell you, not shocked. We already knew he was involved. Now, obviously, this is incredibly important to note, especially if we're being consistent here, but in this country, people are innocent until proven guilty. Even people who have been close friends with Diddy for like 30 years and most likely knew about or attended his freak-offs, even they are innocent until proven guilty. That is how our justice system works, and hopefully we still have a shred of integrity. But in the court of public opinion, Jay-Z is done, and apparently he's been done for a while. Somebody commented and said, Jay-Z was close friends with R. Kelly, Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, and now suddenly there's no way he could be a LMFAO. There is thread upon thread upon thread exposing him, going viral on X, literally racking up upwards of 20 million views each. One of them said, Jay-Z, a criminal turned tycoon, a thread exposing all the rapper's involvements with minors and a real. And the one thing that all of these threads bring up and really start with is the age discrepancy with when he met and started dating Beyonce, who was 12 years younger than him. And the fact that they've never really given a clear answer. They've said anything from 15 years old to...
Despite the ongoing allegations, Jay-Z and Beyonce made a powerful public statement at the red carpet premiere for their daughter Blue Ivy. The couple appeared calm and composed, sending a clear message that family comes first, no matter the external pressure.
Hi, Beyonce. Hi. Oh, you look beautiful. Also, your turn. Left here. Turn to the left. Go on the left. Here, go. We get to to the world.
You guys start right here. Just look it down here. Beautiful ways to you.
Joey, I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it. It's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
So based on the allegations, Jessica, good morning. Good to see you. I think that it certainly could be. Why do I say that? Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement. He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because New York, and what's alleged in this complaint is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors. And if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to the evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right? More than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress. Number three, that she phone called her dad who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, need to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, you know, we'll see what happens if the DA looks and investigates.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick.
50 Cent explains his choice to mock Jay-Z amid allegations against the rapper and Sean Diddy Combs. The 49-year-old is explaining why he chose to take to X, formerly Twitter, to troll Jay-Z amid allegations that were filed in a December 8th lawsuit. After news of the claims broke, 50 Cent posted on the platform questioning the status of the Super Bowl halftime show, which Jay-Z's Rock Nation curates with the NFL. Then in an interview on December 9th, the rapper explains what was behind his joke.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because, look, they will fall back. They, like the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated.
Right.
The rapper didn't stop there, though. On December 9th, after Jay-Z attended the Mufasa premiere with his wife Beyonce and their daughter Blue Ivy, 50 posted on Instagram in a since-deleted message poking fun at Jay-Z for attending amid the legal